Hi, I'm Videobob. This is my shop, Bob's Prop Shop. This is a 1981 DeLorean. Well, for those of you who have followed my channel since 2007, you know that I love these DeLoreans. And here at my shop, we have done 34 DeLorean Time Machine replicas for museums, theme parks, collectors, and customers all over the world. This car is going to be car number 35. And that's special because right now in 2020, Back to the Future is 35 years old, from 1985 to 2020. This car is also special because this car is not for a client, it's for me. This is going to be my personal DeLorean Time Machine. Now, we've had another DeLorean Time Machine that was the shop car, but this one's going to be mine. And we're going to do a series of videos on this car. So if you haven't subscribed, now's the time, because we're going to be posting virtually daily blogs on this car, working on it. We're going to be doing all kinds of things. So for those of you that are car enthusiasts or DeLorean enthusiasts, we're going to be working on the shocks, the brakes. We're going to be doing custom things like putting in power steering on a car that doesn't have power steering, and maybe even doing an engine swap. We'll get to that. And of course, building one of the best DeLorean time machines that you can build. So I'm inviting you to come along on this journey with me as we build DeLorean Time Machine Replica number 35. Now, if this is your first time coming to my channel, let's just get some stuff out of the way right now. Yes, I always dress like this. Yes, I wear a belt with suspenders because I'm going to carry my phone and my knife and my gun and all the other stuff I keep. I have no ass. My pants will fall right off. I wear a belt and suspenders. No, I'm not related to Fat Joe or Matt Farah. I've heard that joke 1,000 times, so you don't need to put it in the comments. Other than that, I think I've covered it all. Oh, yes, I am the guy that you saw in Pawn Stars. I am the guy that you saw in Auction Kings. I was in The Act on Hulu. I was in the 2016 Ghostbusters, and I did have my own TV show, Scream Machines, on the Reels channel. I think that about covers it. You've probably seen me before. Not bragging, just answering the same questions that I see over and over and over in the comments. So, since you're going to be joining me on this series for the next couple of months, just get that stuff right out of the way. Well, we've already done a couple of things to this car. We got started on it before I thought about doing the video. So I'm just going to have to get caught up with you. Normally there are some louvers here. Those have been removed. Normally there's some tinted glass here, and that's been removed. We still got to remove this back window. After that, that's most of the major modifications that are going to be done to the car. We've already taken the seats out. Now, this particular car is an automatic. Oh, I can hear the jeers now. The original car in the movie was a 5-speed. And normally I build them out of 5-speed. But we're going to put in a custom engine in here, and I think it'll accommodate with an automatic. And quite frankly, it's really difficult to drive this car as a stick shift. And one of the things we want to do with it is I want to be able to let other people drive the car. Crazy enough. A lot of you millennials just can't drive a stick. There's a lot of people out there that have wanted to drive the car over the years and you just couldn't drive it. And with all the stuff in the way, the time circuits on that thing, it makes it very difficult. So we're going to make the car an automatic. But we're going to make it look like a stick. That's one of the tricks we're going to do. This car is a great car. Just got shipped to me from Los Angeles. Right here is how you can tell when you got a good DeLorean. The door closes well. The gap fits well. The reason that's an important thing for a DeLorean is the way these cars are built. If you look, this is fiberglass, right? They make a lower and an upper fiberglass tub, and they seamed them together. They glue them and staple them together. That sits on a single double wishbone chassis, right? That's made of steel and epoxy coated. Then these stainless steel panels are glued and screwed to the plastic body. Now what happens over the years is the car flexes, it drives down the road, maybe it gets a crack here and there, maybe some bushings or some bolts come loose. Anyway, as the car flexes, it makes it harder and harder to close the doors. Now, there's what we call a roof box. There's a box that is glued and screwed and riveted to the top of this panel here. When that starts to come loose, the whole doors start to get a little wiggly wobbly. Well, when I saw this car and the doors were perfect, I said, this is a good car. Keeping it. DeLoreans are exploding in value right now. I'm seeing these cars selling for $50,000, $60,000 for a stock car on the regular. This car I got for a good price. We're going to fix it up. It's going to be sweet. Hey, you want to take a look at one of my regular time machines? See what it's going to look like? Come on, let's just check it out. Okay, we're skipping ahead a little bit now. This is one of the time machines that we built over there. This one was built in 2014. This is technically my car. This has been our shop working car. This car's been in TV shows, movies. It's been from one end of the country to the other. It's been to Marty McFly's house. It's been on the railroad tracks, chased by the actual train that killed the real DeLorean. It's been Universal Studios. It's been everywhere. This car has history. And this car is actually for sale. It'll probably be gone maybe by the time this video airs. I don't know. But some of the differences between this car and the car we're going to build, just some simple things. I mean, basically, this car's a stick, and I wanted an automatic. Now, the frames in the DeLoreans for the automatic and the stick are different frames, so it's not as easy as just doing an engine swap. It can be done. Anything can be done, but it's not that easy. This car actually has really extremely low miles. It runs great. It's a great car. But we've just decided to, it would be so much trouble to take this thing apart and put it back together versus starting with a scratch DeLorean. And I was going to install all these other things onto this car, but why take it apart, put it back together when it's ready to go and I can just sell this car and we'll start from scratch with another car, and that's what we're going to do. But I'll show you some of the things we're doing on this car because we're refurbishing it, putting some new parts on it, and you'll see what to expect if you subscribe and watch this show, and you're going to get to see how we do all this. Well, there's crazy amounts of wiring going on in this car. We got Omar here, who's doing some kind of crazy Doc Brown stuff. What are you working on in there?
The speedometer.
The speedometer. Okay, so the speedometer, we have a digital speedometer that's operated by GPS, and it sits up on the dash. There's a hidden GPS module up there. Oof. And we'll show you that here in a minute. And that runs the digital speedometer. So everything actually works. All right, some cool things we have back here without the seat in the way. We have a little amplifier that runs some special effects. This controller actually works our license plate flipper module. And then you also have some battery cutoff switches, fuse box. This is a little bit more messy than we normally do some of our customer cars, but this is my personal car and I kind of know how everything works and where it goes. So we put in things like these digital gauges so that we know the voltages of each battery, things like that. So these are things that don't have anything to do with the Back to the Future car, but they just help the car work a little bit better. Of course, you have the flux capacitor that makes time travel possible. All this rear bulkhead. A lot of this wiring you see is fake. It just doesn't go anywhere. It's just for looks, like this one. But a tremendous amount of it is genuine. Hey, you want to see something really cool? Check this out. This is the license plate flipper. When I press this button, watch the license plate. All right, now that's cool. You don't have to put your real plate on there. You can put the out of time or the 2015 or your real one, whatever you want. I want a little James Bond action. Under the frunk or the boot. This stuff isn't quite tied down yet, but this is how we operate the fog machine on this particular car. You got battery charger, inverter that's powered from batteries to run the fog machine. Fog machine runs through a exhaust system, runs all the way under the car and out the back. We have to put it back here because it's too big to fit inside the car. It's too big to fit over the engine. And you need to have access to it so you can clean it, put fluid in it. And I hate to say it, but these fog machines fail a lot. You have to replace them every once in a while. And if we take it apart and hide it up inside the car, customer wouldn't be able to get to it. We just need to make it easy. And it couldn't be any easier. We don't even adapt the wiring. We just plug it right in. That way, if this thing fails, you can just go to Guitar Center, buy another one for $200 and stick it in here. The trick is making things easy to operate. Now, we're going to do some crazy modifications to my other car. We may not put the fog machine system in. We may go with a real CO2 system. We'll leave it up to you guys in the comments. But the original car used the CO2 system. They literally had a fire extinguisher. The guy sat in the passenger seat and just went out the back. That's literally how they did it. But there's going to be a lot of stuff going on here. So stay tuned. We're upstairs here in my loft. This is where I keep parts for projects. You know, heat sinks and capacitors. All the different things that we need to build the cars. We have a lot of stuff that's like pre-built, you know, these relays. This is known as a wormhole emitter or a tachyon generator, as Bob Gale says. Just various different parts and pieces, jigs that we use. Here's one of the infamous flux boxes. This will be going on my car. What's great about parts like these is that after the restoration team, which did a great job on the screen-used A car, which is at the Peterson Museum in Los Angeles, I was friendly with the guys, Joe Walser, who headed up the team, and his teammate, Terry Metalis. I actually introduced those two guys together back years ago. Anyway, you know, I helped them with any information that they wanted, any parts that they wanted for their projects. And in return, they gave me a little bit of a thank you when they finished the car by adding my name to the thank you on the plaque that was at Universal Studios. And Joe hooked me up with a lot of different parts, you know, and these are direct castings off of the same ones that were used on the A car. So when they restored the original boxes, which were hand carved out of poplar wood, they had to restore those wooden blocks and make new molds. And basically, there's just a right and a left. And interestingly, they're not symmetrical and they don't even line up. And we'll get into all that later. Of course, I'm looking at two of the same size. But anyway, so there's a lot of cool parts like that that I've gotten that came right off of that are direct molds of the original car. So it's going to be a pretty accurate build. There's other things we've had to take a little artistic license on just because you couldn't find one. We had to go by pictures alone. And those are all things that we're going to explore. This video is really more of a teaser. But hey, listen, if you've ever wanted to know how to build a time machine because you want to build one, or maybe you're just interested because it's interesting, we want to take you along on that journey, and we're just going to show you some of the little tips and tricks of how to do stuff like this. This is the upper console. Goes up on the ceiling. This one's already done. So we have a lot of stuff that's already built, that's ready to go on a time machine, and other stuff that we're going to have to build from scratch that's going to go on a time machine. All right, that's just a little teaser of some of the Back to the Future Delorean Time Machine stuff that we're going to be doing. Some of you viewers of my channel that are come here regularly are used to seeing the cars like Rolls Royces and the other cool things like that we do here. Don't worry, still going to be plenty of that content mixed in. My plan is for this particular series, at the end of each video, there'll be a link to the next video in the series. So if you're interested in watching us build a DeLorean time machine over the next couple of months, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We're just about to hit that 100,000 subscriber mark, and maybe you can be the 100th subscriber. We're going to have surprise giveaways, and we're going to be doing some really neat stuff coming up soon. I'm really excited about this new video series, and I'm wondering why I haven't done it before. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm glad you guys are going to join me on it. Hey guys, thanks for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it. I'm Videobob.